he's even better at screaming than he was, which I didn't even know was possible. Yeah, and then the spoken word thing, I was like, okay, I know what you're doing. You're bringing us back to like 2005 right here. Like, so it's just, yeah, it's a trip, and maybe he'll come out 1 or 2 dates on the Fall Out Boy tour and rip that. Who knows? Everyone knows Will Ramos now. He's pretty much a generational talent. I mean, uh, Lorna Shore. I've been a fan of Lorna Shore for a long time, and I just I knew that I wanted someone who was that talented on my record, someone who could really deliver those types of screams that no one else is possible. I mean, he makes some straight up demon noises. So, um, yeah, I mean, my friend Blake, who plays guitar for me on tour, he was actually working sound for Lorna Shore for a while. He was touring with them as front of house, and he sort of introed me to him, and I was like, hey man, like we should like do something at some point. And he was like, dude, I'm a fan. And I was like, I'm a fan of you. So it was kind of like pretty organic the way that it happened. And I basically sent him the song, and I didn't give him any direction really. And when he sent it back, we all just looked at each other and just like started laughing when we listened to it, because he just nailed it. It's amazing. Yeah. I definitely had him in mind at the end there. And what's crazy is he actually like added some runs and some harmonies into it as well. And I was like, I didn't even know Will like could sing that well too. So it's really phenomenal how talented he is all around. I grew up listening to really heavy music, and I still listen to really heavy music. I love deathcore and beatdown and metalcore. Just as nothing nowhere, I guess I never fully dove into that. So yeah, and I think Will's the same way. Like I think he listens to everything. So it's really cool. When I first heard the correlation between entrance and exit wounds by See You Space Cowboy, it brought me back to listening to Drop Dead Gorgeous and like Norma Jean, or like just it they captured a part of my nostalgic brain, but they also do it in their own way, which is amazing. And Connie is a phenomenal vocalist, and I knew that I wanted to get her on this song because she does this like sassy voice that like just works so well on the bridge, and then obviously gets into the roaring screams as well. So yeah, See Space Cowboys, like you'll see a trend on the track listing. It's literally just bands that I admire and I love listening to, and See Space Cowboys, a band that I listen to every day, so they had to be on the record. We were in my studio here, and we were playing. I have an original Xbox in the studio, and we were playing MX versus ATV Unleashed. So we were just playing a lot of classic dirt biking games, and we were listening to the soundtrack, and I think like Cold by Crossfade was on there, and just a bunch like maybe Static X and stuff like that. And I don't know, we picked up the guitar and just Blake started playing that actual guitar riff in the chorus, and I was like, yeah, that's it. And my friend Taylor and my other friend Brody, they kind of cooked up a beat, and I don't know. I think MX versus ATV Unleashed made that song. Pete's been a mentor of mine for years, and he was one of the first people to really believe in me and sort of champion the things that I was doing. So when I texted him and I was like, hey, like, would you be willing to come out of screaming retirement for my new record? And he just texted back like, hell yeah. And I was like, let's go, so because I wanted to bring back that sort of vibe from, like a song like Saturday, or like the older songs that he would scream on. And I didn't give him any direction really. I just sent him the instrumental, and he sent it back, and I couldn't believe. I was like, is this Pete? And I was just looking at it, like my friends, like, is this actually Pete? And then I called up Zach Cervini, who recorded it with him, and I was like, this is Pete? Like, he's even better at screaming than he was, which I didn't even know was possible. Yeah, and then the spoken word thing, I was like, okay, I know what you're doing. You're bringing us back to like 2005 right here. Like, so it's just, yeah, it's a trip, and maybe he'll come out 1 or 2 dates on the Fall Out Boy tour and rip that. Who knows? No, we haven't talked about it yet. I'll have to spring it on him at some point when we're on tour. They caught my interest like immediately. The first stuff they put out, like like I said earlier, the common thread of all the artists that are on this record, I'm just massive fans of them, and I'm such a huge Static Dress fan. And honestly, like I feel like Fortune Teller, like I was influenced by Static Dress for that song. And I was like, well, why not just get Ollie and get them on this track? So, yeah, just unbelievable. And Ollie is a visionary. He has such a strong vision of what he wants to do, and I feel like I do as well. So, it was really easy for us to really just lock it in. And I just I can't say enough good things about Static Dress. I wish the best for them, and I know that they're gonna just blow up even bigger. They're just too good. No, absolutely. Yeah, I think we both have backgrounds in film and photography, and yeah, we're just very, very similar people. We feel weird in the spotlight, but we also understand that like, music is about making connection with the fans. So I've had conversations with Ollie like where we're kind of grappling with that, and he just really reminds me of myself. So yeah, I'm really excited for the song to drop because, like I said, I'm just a massive Static Dress fan, and I had to have them on. I think I might have listened to Let It Unfold You more than I listened to any record ever. Um, and even going back to like 187 and Bloody Romance and Steven and all the earlier stuff that they did, I had a Census Fail zip up hoodie that I wore it was black when I got it, and I wore it so much every day in middle school that it's turned to like a light gray, almost white. um, so I was the biggest fan of Census Fail, and I still am of everything that they do and everything that Buddy does. And I was fortunate to get to know him over the years, and I realized that we've had a similar journey, sort of like navigating mental health hurdles and just trying to figure out like where we are in our lives. And he's just so talented that it's just like, I don't know. It's really inspirational for me to see him and what he's done over the years, and the amount of people that he's impacted. As you've said, I'd be lucky to get even half of that when I'm older. So it's really, yeah, it's just a once in a lifetime thing for me to be able to work with someone like Buddy. I keep saying, like, if I had a time machine and I could go back to like 12, 13-year-old me and tell me that I was gonna work with Census Fail or any of these bands, I would freak out. Yeah, I mean, they're only chasing safety. Like, it's one of my all-time favorite albums. Um, as well as like Define the Great Line. Like yeah, and I was a fan of the Almost too, and I just, I don't know. It's just really crazy to think that I tortured my mom by listening to bands like Underoath for years when she drove me to school, and my poor mom can never escape post-hardcore because now she has to listen to my music with these same artists on them, but she loves it, and I just can't believe it. Like, Spencer and Aaron are like the nicest people on earth too, and I don't know. I don't have words. I'm just really grateful that I've gotten to a point where I can view my inspirations and my idols as my peers. It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, if I were to tell someone that I got Underoath on a UK drill beat, people would be like, "What?" Yeah, but I feel like if anyone was able to do it or anyone could do it, it should be me. So, I remember I worked with Eric Ron initially on the instrumental and everything, and I showed him a bunch of Central C videos, and I was like, hey, like I want to make a drill song like this, but I want to make a post-hardcore drill song. And then everyone in the studio was kind of like, what are you talking about? But as soon as we got those drums down and I started playing a little bit of guitar, like we all started to realize, like, wait a second, I think this might work. So um I don't know, on paper, get it, like if you were to say, hey, Nothing Nowhere has a UK drill beat that has Underoath on it, it sounds insane, but for some reason it works, and they murdered it. The end of that song is just so cathartic and so explosive, and we actually filmed a music video for it that's dropping when the album drops, depending on when this comes out. Yeah, like it's gonna be amazing, and yeah, they're legends.